What's going on, guys? I've got here a 2012 Nissan Versa, and I'm going to use this car to point out to you the location of the fuel pump fuse. I'm also going to show you how to access the fuel pump itself and test to see if it's receiving power. So the fuse is going to be behind this cover here, which we remove by pushing in on the tab here. And on this end, we squeeze these two tabs together and lift up. So for this cover to come out, we may have to allow this top piece to flex a little bit. Now we've got to get this piece removed. There's going to be a tab on either end, here and here. So we push these two, lifting this up, and in here is where we'll find the fuel pump fuse. It's going to be this 15 amp right there. I'll go ahead and pull this out so you can see what a good fuse looks like. So that's what we want to see on a fuel pump fuse. You can see it's unbroken and everything's good to go. Now this provides power to the fuel pump relay, which is actually built into this assembly here, and it's not serviceable. But we can see if that relay is working, because if it is working, it will be sending power to the fuel pump. So let's take a look at that. You can actually access the fuel pump by going in through the back seat. You're supposed to be able to remove this back seat by reaching down in front and yanking it up on either end. It's supposed to be just held in with friction retaining clips. I've had no such luck here. I've had to kind of brutalize the seat, get it pulled out of the way. And that's the piece that's supposed to come out. I could not get that to come out, but then again, I'm out here. I don't have a pry bar or anything like that. But we can still see the top of the fuel pump access port. This is just glued in place. You've got to pry this up and out. And we'll pivot it away. Now what we're doing is we're looking at the very top of the fuel pump. So we can see the electrical connector right there. The way we get this off is you push down on this piece here. You should hear a click, but while you're pushing down on that, you'll want to pull this out. So it's a little challenging for me to do one-handed, but let's see if I can get it done. And what I'm hoping to show you is the power and the ground. So here we go, we've got it disconnected. The power comes in on the green wire, which is hooked up to this far pin right here. So this pin should be receiving power from that fuel pump relay. And the middle pin receives a ground. That should be a constant ground. If you are receiving power and a ground when you're attempting to start the car, but the fuel pump's not putting out any fuel, you may want to replace it. So you can actually do that through this access port. There's two lines that you've got to disconnect. The first one is here. You squeeze these collars together and then you pull the line out. A bit challenging for me to do one-handed, but you get the idea. There's another piece here. You've got to push in and pull that out. Then there's a collar here that's got to rotate counterclockwise. My preferred method to get this collar to move is with a large hammer and a big flathead screwdriver. I just chisel it in the counterclockwise direction, and then the entire fuel pump assembly will come out. So yeah, I hope that this information was helpful for you, or at the very least was a good starting point in troubleshooting the fuel pump on the Nissan Versa. Please do let me know if you guys have any questions or any advice.